In the context of the growing coronavirus crisis, if not scandal, and again, turning on the cable news networks in particular, people are being whipped up into tremendous fear and panic. It's dividing families. It's causing to pit people against each other. It is frankly criminal in and of itself. Was the recent firing of Trish Regan from Fox News. She's a very valued conservative, a former contestant and winner in New Hampshire of a beauty pageant. She was proud of that. She's extremely bright. I don't know Trish Regan, but this is exemplary of Fox News. People don't really know the real Fox News. It's just that they have no alternative with regard to MSNBC and CNN, so they think. But that alternative has to be this show, and it has to be what others do that are out there trying to tell the truth each day about what is going on. People who are trying to do their best not to make money on the backs of people who are put into fear and panic to increase viewership and advertising dollars. I know I've been saying this over and over again, but it's getting much more severe each day. And even the president needs to take it down a notch. These daily news conferences or briefings or whatever you call them, frankly, are making matters worse. They're getting people so upset that they get into a state of hysteria. During a crisis, you have to stay calm. You have to think it through. You have to be very circumspect about how you react to things. And that's why we at Freedom Watch are not in a panic. We're not in any way other than calm. We have a crisis, and when that happens, that's exactly the way you need to stay. So what have we done? We've brought class action lawsuits in both Dallas, Texas, and in Israel, and there are going to be more coming up all around the world. I'm getting contacted from lawyers all over the country and all over the world. We need to hold China accountable for this virus. And if we do something proactive, that will alleviate the panic in many ways. In addition, I filed a criminal complaint on behalf of Freedom Watch with the International Criminal Court in The Hague, Holland. Just 2 days ago, the court acknowledged that it's processing that complaint. That's very, very important because I'm certain that they will conduct at least an investigation into the likelihood that this was a bioweapon that escaped from a lab in Wuhan, China. And even if it wasn't a bioweapon, it still escaped, and it was probably a manufactured virus that they were experimenting with. The Chinese did not advise the rest of the world on a timely basis. They violated World Health Organization rules that China is a signatory to, as well as the United States and other countries. And now they've effectively destroyed the world. The communist Chinese are very, very intelligent people. They're also evil. Not the Chinese people. They're good people, particularly the ones here. As I've said, about 30% of the people who've signed up for our class action are Chinese and Asian American. They're hardworking. They're patriotic. They love this country. That's why they came here. But the leadership in Beijing, which slaughtered over 10,000 of its own people at Tiananmen Square in 1991, are vicious killers. And they're obviously sitting back, smiling. You see the smile on President Xi's face as the world burns, as the United States goes down the drain. And we don't hear anything from our president about how we're going to pay for this out of China's pocket. Yesterday, someone made a statement, I forget who, that coincided with what I've been saying now for several days, that all Chinese assets should be frozen in this country to pay the damage once we get a jury verdict in Dallas, Texas, and elsewhere. That's the minimum that can be done. But I want you, ladies and gentlemen, fellow patriots, to contact the White House. Email them. Tell them about our lawsuit. I have been trying to communicate with this president for 3 years. Obviously, it was probably Roger Stone, who I've had differences with, a 7-count convicted felon for lying, obstruction of justice, and witness tampering, probably who has kept the president away from me and Freedom Watch. Instead, he watches Fox News. That's where he gets the people that work around him. That's unfortunate because Fox News does not have the best and the brightest. There are a lot better people out there that he should have surrounded himself with, not the Roger Stones, not the Paul Manaforts, not the Rick Gates, all of whom are headed for prison. But he needs to start dealing with people who really support him, as I do, and as Freedom Watch does, and as you do. And as much as we love him, and as much as he's the best that we can probably get in this country at this point in time, we have to be constructively critical, because China cannot get a free pass here. The rest of the world knows that. Whether it's Israel, whether it's Argentina, whether it's Sri Lanka, whether it's India, whether it's Nigeria, whether it's Lesotho, whether it's Poland, whether it's Italy, whether it's France, all over the place where I've been contacted, Greece, people know that they have to rise up, that this is the equivalent of a nuclear holocaust against our people. But we need to stay calm. We can defeat it. We need to take on China, and I need your support. Go to freedomwatchusa.org. Sign up for these class actions. Contribute with tax-deductible contributions. We need it. We're small. I need to hire more people. We need to be the People's Justice Department, which we are, because we have no Justice Department. Where is the Attorney General? Failed to indict Comey, failed to indict McCabe, failed to indict Clapper or Brennan or the Clintons or Obama. The guy is simply a Washington, D.C. establishment political hack. Well, let's get it straight. And that's why I tell you to turn off Hannity, because you'll hear all this nonsense to boost ratings. Justice is just around the corner. We're doing this. We're doing that. It's deceptive. It's fraudulent. It's intended to draw you back, to raise viewership for advertising dollars. And in fact, Hannity has the highest viewership, despite the fact that he says the same thing every night in the monologue, has the same guests that have nothing to say. Ask yourself this question. Who on Fox News actually does anything other than talk? What is not on Fox News is Larry Klayman, Freedom Watch, and our clients who are doing stuff, whether it's Sheriff Joe Arpaio, whether it's Chief Justice Roy Moore, whether it's Laura Loomer, whether it's the families of the victims of Extortion 17 or Benghazi. Where are these people who are sticking their neck out for America, who are not there just to help Fox News jingle the change? And getting back to Trish Reagan, she was a true conservative. She stuck her neck out. She said things that were unacceptable to the current leadership at Fox News, who are liberals, Lachlan and James Murdoch. The father was nothing. He just wanted to make money. But these people have an ideology. So you can bet sometime in the future, even the hosts on prime time will be gone from Fox News on ideological bases. So please support what we're doing at Freedom Watch. Please communicate with the president and the White House. Tell him he needs to man up. He needs to take on the Chinese. The least he can do is freeze the assets so Freedom Watch and you can collect for the severe damage that is done to this country and to support our criminal case in The Hague, Holland, because President Xi and his cronies, his communist cronies, comrades, need to be thrown in prison. That's what needs to be done, and it needs to be done quickly. Thank you for listening to me. Please share this podcast. You can find it at freedomwatchusa.org, at Spotify, at iTunes, at Patreon, and Roku, on Amazon Fire, on Facebook. It's out on Twitter. Get the word out. You won't hear it anywhere else, and you won't have anybody else who's sticking their neck out to the extent of Larry Klayman and your Freedom Watch, and you too, because you are members of our Justice League. You are the superheroes. God bless you. God bless your family. Stay safe. God bless my family. God bless America, and let America roll on as the greatest country on earth. But it's only going to do it if we rise up, we the people, and do it for ourselves. Thank you for listening to me. I'll be back tomorrow with another podcast, The Special Prosecutor with Larry Klayman.
This is Derek's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
After the third time jump-starting my car, I finally realized my battery was dying. So I stopped by O'Reilly to have it checked. They tested it right there in the parking lot. It was bad, real bad. But they helped me find the right battery for my car and even installed it for free. Now my car starts like new.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.